Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to another video of EduLine. In this video, I am going to present the analysis of a famous English poem by the famous English poet William Wordsworth. And the poem is Lines Written in Early Spring. So, what are you waiting for? Let's get started. Lines Written in Early Spring by William Wordsworth. I heard 1,000 blended notes, while in a grove I sat reclined, in that sweet mood when pleasant thoughts bring sad thoughts to the mind. Now in the very first stanza, the poet tells that he sat reclined in a woods. He was having rest in an wood, surrounded by plants and trees all around. And there, while he was having rest, the beauty of nature all around made the poet's mood very joyful and pleasant. But even in that joyful mood, sad thoughts came to the poet's mind. To her fair walks did nature link the human soul that through me ran, and much it grieved my heart to think what man has made of man. Now what was the sad thought all about? Although the poet's mood was very joyful while observing the beauty of nature all around, but still a sad thought came to his mind when he thought that nature has connected all its being. Nature has connected all her creations in a link. Even the human soul is linked. But whereas other creations, the plants, the birds, the animals, they can enjoy their life as being the part of nature, man or the human beings, they cannot do so, because human beings, they have taken each other for enemies. It is man who has spread violence. It is man who has spread cruelty and horror. So this is what man is unable to do, and man is unable to live a life of spiritual joy as a part of nature. This thought makes the poet's mood sorrowful or sad. Through primrose tufts in that green bower, the periwinkle trailed in wreaths, and 'tis my faith that every flower enjoys the air it breathes. Now, looking at the flowers that were there around the poet, the primrose is actually a 5-petaled bluish flower, generally with glossy leaves. And another type of flower was there near the poet, that was the primrose or the periwinkle. Periwinkle refers to a flowering plant with generally pale yellow flowers. So these two kinds of flowers that were there around the poet, seeing the flowers, the poet tells that the flowers are enjoying the air they are breathing in, because they can enjoy their life in their own way. But man cannot enjoy his life in his own way. Man cannot enjoy a life of spiritual joy as a part of nature. The birds around me hopped and played. Their thoughts I cannot measure, but the least motion which they made, it seems a thrill of pleasure. Now, from the flowers, the poet moves on to the birds. There were birds all around the poet, and the same birds whose blended notes in the first stanza, whose mixed chirpings or whose carol the poet could hear, the bird songs, the mixed bird songs tell the poet that even the birds were happy enough to live their life in their own way. So the birds were hopping and playing and singing all around the poet. Although the poet could not measure the thought of the birds, although the poet could not measure the amount of happiness they are having, still the poet can say this much, that definitely the birds were enjoying their lives. The birds were enjoying themselves. There was a sort of pleasure in all the activities, in all the movements the birds were making right there all around the poet. The budding twigs spread out their fan to catch the breezy air, and I must think, do all I can, that there was pleasure there. Now from the birds, the poet moves on to the budding twigs. Budding twigs refers to the bud from which new leaves appear. So the budding twigs, as it is expanding its fan refers to here the newborn leaves. The budding twigs, the newborn leaves that expand themselves in the free air. That activity of the budding twigs, it also seems to tell the poet that even the budding twigs are enjoying the atmosphere all around there. Even the budding twigs are enjoying their life, being a part of nature. That is why the poet says that there was pleasure there. The budding twigs, they were having pleasure as being part of nature because they are enjoying their life in their own ways. But in the contrast, if this belief from heaven be sent, if such be nature's holy plan, have I not reason to lament what man has done, what man has made of man? Now, the poet raises a serious question. He finds the flowers enjoying all around. He finds the birds playing and hopping in a joyful mood all around. Even he finds the budding twigs, gradually expanding themselves and catching the breezy air to enjoy their life. This is the kind of nature's holy plan. Nature's holy plan here refers to the particular link. Nature holy plan refers to that particular strategy of nature, a creation of nature, or what should I say, nature's holy plan refers to the way every creation of hearts, every creation made by her must enjoy their life in their own way, being in nature. So not only the birds, the animals and the plants, but even the human beings also should enjoy a life of spiritual joy together, at the same time being in nature. So we should enjoy a life of spiritual joy because we are also part of nature. But looking at the difference between what humans have done and on the other hand the other creations of nature, the birds, the flowers, the budding twigs, the poet can easily distinguish them. The poet's mind is filled with grief. He has enough reasons to lament. To lament means to express his grief, because to regret, because man has really made something which he should have not made. Man has done something like spreading violence. Man has taken each other for enemies. Man has also spread cruelty and kindness among themselves. So the poet says in this connection that thinking about what man has done or what man has made of man, this particular thing, whenever he reminds, the poet's mind is filled with utter grief, and he concludes that he has definitely some reasons to lament, to regret for what man has made of man. Lines written in early spring by William Wordsworth. I heard 1,000 blended